Look at your hands, not just as tools for action, but as symbols, silent maps written before you knew how to read them. Some of you may notice a half moon beneath your nails. Some may observe an M formed by the lines in your palm. These are not mere coincidences of biology or wrinkles of skin. In the ancient traditions, especially those rooted in Eastern philosophy, these signs are believed to reflect something deeper: the energy you carry and the destiny you shape. If you have a half moon on your palm, understand that you carry within you a potential of purity and intuition. This is the mark of the awakened, those who are not satisfied with the surface. You seek meaning in the silence, strength in stillness, and clarity in chaos. The half moon signifies balance. It shows that you are not reactive, but responsive. You are a warrior not of violence, but of peace. Now consider the M on your palm. This is not a letter, it is a message. The M stands for mastery, mystery, mission, and movement. People with this symbol are not ordinary. They are born with a purpose, and they often experience life intensely. You are likely to walk a path that others avoid. It may be hard, it may be lonely, but the power inside you was not given for comfort, it was given to transform. But here is the danger. Yes, danger. Because when power is not understood, it becomes destructive. A person with a strong sign, but no discipline, no mindfulness, no purpose, they are like a sharp sword in the hands of a child. The world does not need more chaos, it needs conscious warriors. The human hand is far more than a physical instrument for grasping, building, or expressing. For thousands of years, it has been revered in various ancient traditions as a mirror of the soul, and a map of one's internal and external life path. In Eastern philosophies, particularly within Taoist and Shaolin teachings, the palm is believed to hold energetic imprints, subtle messages of your tendencies, your challenges, and your hidden strengths. When we observe our palms, most people see mere lines: lifeline, heartline, headline, but those who look deeper understand that these markings are not accidental. They are shaped by the flow of Kai, the life force that courses through your body, influenced by your thoughts, habits, and even karmic patterns. Just as the face reflects your emotions and the eyes your truth, the palm reflects your spiritual blueprint. The texture of your skin, the depth and curve of your lines, the mounts and spaces all hold meaning. To the untrained eye, these may appear as creases, but to the mindful, they are signals, indicators of how energy is moving through your life. Some people are born with clearer lines, some develop them as they cultivate inner awareness. This is why two people with similar palms may still walk different paths, because how one lives with the energy is more important than simply having it. In disciplines like palmistry or chirology, which were respected in ancient India, China, and even by mystics in Greece, the palm was seen as a tool for self-discovery. But unlike fortune-telling, this study wasn't meant to predict an unchangeable fate. It was designed to bring awareness to one's strengths and blind spots, to make conscious the patterns that are unconsciously driving life decisions. When you recognize your palm as a map of energy rather than a random set of lines, you begin to see yourself not as a passive recipient of destiny, but as an active participant in your evolution. Just as a warrior studies the terrain before battle, a seeker of truth must learn to read the terrain of their own body and mind, starting with the hands that shape their reality each day. The half moon, scientifically known as the lunula, is the pale, crescent-shaped mark at the base of your fingernails. While most people overlook it as a biological feature, ancient Eastern wisdom and spiritual traditions consider it a vital, energetic indicator. The lunula is more than a shape. It is believed to reflect the state of your life force, your health, your spiritual clarity, and even your level of consciousness. According to Taoist teachings and traditional Chinese medicine, The lunula is directly connected to the flow of Qi energy in the body. It is said to represent the balance between yin and yang within your system. A clear, well-defined lunula suggests that the energy channels in your body, the meridians, are open and flowing smoothly. This means you may be in tune with your emotions, your thoughts are clear, and your intuition is heightened. In ancient energy diagnostics, the presence of lunulae on multiple fingers was often viewed as a sign of a vital and awakened spirit. Spiritually, the half-moon has long been associated with clarity, psychic sensitivity, and spiritual openness. It symbolizes a person who sees beyond the surface of things, someone who can sense energies, intentions, and even danger before others can perceive it. This sensitivity is not always a gift of comfort. It can be a heavy responsibility. People with visible lunulae are often more affected by the emotional states of others, by changes in the environment, or by disruptions in their spiritual practices. Their system picks up more, which means they must also train more to keep their internal world steady. In some esoteric teachings, the lunula is connected to the crown and third chakras, meaning it may indicate a strong connection to higher wisdom or inner vision. It's as though the body is subtly revealing that the person is not merely grounded in the material world, but is being pulled toward a deeper, unseen dimension of life, one where purpose, harmony, and truth take precedence over distraction, conflict, or superficial success. Interestingly, the number of lunulae on your hands is also believed to hold symbolic meaning. One lunula on the thumb suggests personal power and self-awareness. Multiple lunulae, especially when visible on all fingers, may suggest a soul that is not new to this world, but has walked through many lifetimes, carrying ancient wisdom that is now ready to surface. Conversely, the absence or fading of lunulae is often interpreted in both traditional and modern energy medicine as a warning. The body's energy reserves may be depleted, or the person may be disconnecting from their higher path without realizing it. Those who study martial arts under spiritual masters, such as Shi Heng Yi, are often trained to observe not just the strength of the muscles, but the subtle signs of energy, and the lunula is one such sign. In Shaolin philosophy, a warrior must not only master the external technique, but also the internal clarity. The lunula becomes a metaphor for this delicate, silent, but powerful when fully realized. Among the many intriguing features found in the human palm, the M formation is perhaps one of the most mystically charged. It appears when the major lines of the palm, the heart line, head line, and life line intersect in such a way that they form the shape of the letter M in the center of the palm. While to some this may look like a simple coincidence, in the traditions of palmistry, chirology, and even spiritual martial disciplines, this formation is viewed as a powerful sign, one that points to a destiny infused with deeper purpose, intuition, and transformational potential. In the realm of symbolic language, the letter M itself has been associated with multiple profound meanings: mastery, mystery, mission, manifestation, and movement. Each of these represents a quality that those with this palm formation are believed to carry within them consciously or unconsciously. The M acts like a seal, silently marking the hand of someone who is not meant to live an ordinary life. Instead, they are often individuals chosen or challenged to walk a more difficult yet more meaningful path. Those with an M in their palm are frequently described as having a heightened sense of inner knowing. Their intuition is sharper, their emotional intelligence more refined, and their internal compass more aligned with truth than convenience. They may not always follow the path others expect of them, but they are rarely lost. The M suggests a kind of inner guidance system, a spiritual GPS that pulls them towards significant encounters, deep lessons, and sometimes life-altering realizations. In both Eastern and Western esoteric traditions, people with this formation are believed to possess what can be called soul memory, a subconscious awareness of who they truly are and what they came here to do. This can manifest as an early sense of purpose or a resistance to conformity and superficial living. Such individuals often feel a longing for something more, something real, pure, and unshakable. They question norms, resist falsehood, and carry within them a deep urge to awaken not only themselves but others. Moreover, the M is often linked to leadership, but not in the traditional sense of control or dominance. Rather, it signifies influence through presence, the kind of leadership that comes from wisdom, integrity, and quiet power. People with this mark tend to attract followers, not by force, but by authenticity. They are seen as trustworthy, often sought for guidance, and frequently placed in roles where their insight and decisiveness can benefit others. But the presence of this mark also comes with a certain weight. Because these individuals are often destined to face more intense internal and external tests, their growth is accelerated and their learning curve steep. Life may present them with situations where they must choose between comfort and truth, ego and humility, survival and principle. And it is in these crossroads moments that the M is not just a symbol, but a reminder that their journey is not accidental, that their suffering has meaning, and that their role is to rise through the struggle, not be crushed by it. Even in the teachings of masters like Shi Heng Yi, the concept of hidden markings that reflect hidden potential aligns perfectly with the Shaolin belief that external form is always the reflection of internal condition. The M in the palm, therefore, is not just an aesthetic feature, it is an energetic signature, revealing a soul built for growth, for impact, and for walking paths others fear to tread. It is often misunderstood that markings like the half moon beneath the nails or the M formation in the palm automatically bestow greatness or guarantee a life of success, wisdom, or leadership. This is a dangerous illusion. In both Eastern philosophy and the teachings of great masters like Shi Heng Yi, there is a clear distinction made between potential and realization. The existence of a symbol, no matter how sacred or rare, does not equate to automatic fulfillment. It is merely an indication of what could be, not what already is. These signs should be seen as spiritual seeds, not fruits. A seed contains within it the possibility of becoming a strong tree, but only under the right conditions. It must be planted, watered, nurtured, and protected. Likewise, a person born with unique palm signs carries the seed of uncommon abilities, deeper insight, powerful intuition, inner strength, but unless these are developed, sharpened, and cultivated, the individual remains like a tree that never broke through the soil. In traditional Shaolin training, monks are taught that even the most gifted student is nothing without discipline. Natural flexibility means little without repetition. A sharp mind is dangerous if it is untrained, unfocused. This is also true of the spiritual markings on the body. They may reveal tendencies, inclinations, or dormant energies, but it is the responsibility of the individual to activate them through conscious living and disciplined action. The universe does not reward symbols, it rewards effort, intent, and alignment. Just as a sword, no matter how well crafted, will rust if it is not wielded and cared for, so too will the talents and gifts indicated by these signs fade or turn into burdens if left unexplored. A person with an M on the palm, for instance, may have a natural calling toward leadership or truth. seeking, but if they ignore their conscience, surround themselves with falsehood, or chase shallow pleasures, their power becomes misdirected. It can even become destructive to themselves and to others. Many people walk through life unaware of the treasures they hold within them. They wait for external validation, or they rely on the sign itself to carry them toward their destiny. But destiny is not a conveyor belt, it is a staircase. You still have to climb. The sign only tells you that you have legs strong enough to make the journey, not that the mountain will lower itself for you. This understanding is humbling. It strips away arrogance and replaces it with accountability. If you are marked by potential, then you are equally marked by responsibility. You must rise above distraction, comfort, and inertia. You must make difficult choices. You must develop the discipline to walk the path that the universe has quietly carved for you, even when no one else understands it. There is an ancient saying, "A sword in the hands of the untrained is more dangerous than no sword at all." This principle lies at the heart of understanding why certain markings on the body, such as the half-moon beneath the nails or the M formation on the palm, can be as much a burden as they are a blessing. These signs may suggest power, potential, or heightened perception, but when left undisciplined, that very potential can become a source of imbalance, arrogance, and even destruction. In the traditions of Eastern philosophy and martial wisdom, including those taught by Shi Heng Yi, all forms of energy must be understood, refined, and properly channeled. Without direction, power turns inward and creates chaos. A sharp mind, if undisciplined, becomes restless and overanalyzes everything. A sensitive soul, if untrained, becomes overwhelmed and anxious. A strong will, if untempered by humility, turns into stubbornness and pride. The very traits that can lead to greatness can also lead to inner collapse if left unshaped. It is here that the true danger lies, not in the presence of power, but in its misuse or misdirection. When someone carries spiritual or energetic markings, they may naturally attract influence, attention, or authority. People may come to them for advice. They may be thrust into positions of leadership or decision-making. Yet, without training mental, emotional, and spiritual, they can cause more harm than good, even if unintentionally. Influence without clarity is like fire in a dry forest, beautiful, powerful, but devastating when unmanaged. Furthermore, individuals with these markings often feel intense emotions, vivid dreams, or a pull towards something undefined, something beyond the material world. If they do not have the structure or teachings to navigate these inner sensations, they may begin to doubt themselves, feel lost, or worse, interpret their spiritual gifts as a curse. They may swing between emotional highs and lows, reacting impulsively or isolating themselves from others who don't understand them. This internal conflict over time can lead to bitterness, confusion, or spiritual fatigue. In martial philosophy, especially within Shaolin teachings, every form of external training such as striking, weapon handling, or stance work is mirrored by an inner training, meditation, silence, breath control, and moral alignment. A warrior who does not meditate is simply a fighter, and a fighter without inner balance becomes a danger to both self and society. Likewise, a person with signs of spiritual energy must engage in inner cultivation. Without it, their energy becomes scattered and their path unstable. People who carry rare or powerful energy signatures often walk a more solitary and demanding road, not because they are cursed, but because they must first master themselves before they can impact the world. They are tested more often, feel more deeply, and must resist temptations more fiercely. The danger is not in their gifts, but in their failure to rise to the level of self-awareness and discipline that such gifts require. While the signs on your palm or the markings on your body may suggest spiritual inclination or hidden power, they mean nothing without inner discipline, the core principle upon which all true spiritual growth is built. In the teachings of Shaolin Master Shi Heng Yi and across countless traditions from Taoist cultivation to yogic practice, from Zen Buddhism to ancient warrior codes, the path to mastery is not about possessing unique traits, but about how consistently one cultivates the inner world. Discipline, in the spiritual context, does not refer to rigid schedules or blind obedience. It means the conscious effort to train the mind, the emotions, and the body to function in harmony with a higher purpose. It means waking up every day and choosing not to be ruled by impulses, fear, or distraction. It means understanding that true power is not found in controlling others, but in mastering the chaos within yourself. A person who has the M sign on their palm or the lunula on their nails might be gifted with intuition, empathy, or even a sense of prophetic awareness. But without the discipline to manage these sensitivities, they may become overwhelmed. The mind begins to race, emotions swing like a pendulum, thoughts drift from past regrets to future worries, making it nearly impossible to remain grounded in the present moment, which is the only place where transformation can actually happen. This is where daily inner practice becomes essential. In Shaolin tradition, even the most gifted novice begins with the basics: breath control, stillness, silent observation, because it is only through discipline that one can awaken to the deeper truth hidden beneath surface experiences. Without inner structure, even a person destined for greatness will fall victim to distractions, ego validation, material greed, or emotional reactivity. The chaos of the outside world will mirror the undisciplined storm within. Discipline also acts as the gatekeeper of energy. A person who meditates, breathes consciously, fasts periodically, reflects regularly, and surrounds themselves with elevated environments, builds a kind of spiritual armor. Their energy no longer leaks through random desires or reactions. They become intentional, focused, dangerously calm. Their presence alone becomes a force not because they seek to dominate, but because they have learned to hold their energy instead of wasting it. And perhaps most importantly, inner discipline creates the space for truth to emerge. In an undisciplined mind, truth is drowned out by noise, but in the disciplined mind, truth begins to whisper. It reveals which paths to follow and which to leave behind. It brings clarity to decisions. It exposes toxic relationships. It removes the veil between what feels good and what is right. And this is where real strength is born, not in the fists or the voice, but in the silent, unwavering alignment with what is real and eternal. When we think of people who have changed the world, spiritual leaders, enlightened teachers, sages, or warriors of light, what separates them is not their outer gifts, but their inner commitment. They lived with purpose. They walked with intention. They surrendered their lower desires for a higher calling. This level of inner refinement only comes through discipline, the kind that doesn't impress others, but awakens the self. There are moments in life that feel strangely significant, times when events align, when you feel a sudden inner pull, or when symbols seem to follow you. The presence of special markings like the half-moon lunula on your nails or the M formation on your palm is often considered more than coincidence. In many spiritual traditions, it is believed that these are not merely biological or random features. They are celestial fingerprints, signaling that the universe or a higher intelligence is not only aware of you, but is actively watching you. This idea can be both humbling and haunting. On one hand, it suggests you are not alone. Your actions, your decisions, and your struggles are not going unnoticed. On the other hand, it places a heavy truth on your shoulders. You are being observed not to be judged, but because you have been chosen for something greater. The universe watches those whom it expects something from, not in a passive way, but in a way that guides, nudges, and tests you through circumstances relationships, challenges, and synchronicities. When Shi Heng Yi and other Eastern masters speak about self-awareness and spiritual alertness, they do not speak of it in abstract terms. They speak of a living relationship between the individual and the cosmos. Everything you think, say, or do creates a vibration and imprint that echoes into your environment. The markings on your body may signal that your vibration is already high, or that your soul has carried wisdom from previous incarnations. But that wisdom must now be proven in this life through your actions, through your reactions, and through your courage. To be watched by the universe is not about being admired, it is about being tested for readiness. Just as a master watches their student quietly to see if they are prepared for the next level of training, so too does the universe observe you silently, patiently, waiting to see if you will act with integrity when no one is looking, if you will stay kind when the world turns cold, if you will move forward when fear tells you to freeze. Your life becomes a silent conversation between your soul and the source. Every challenge you face is part of this test. Every strange coincidence, every sudden opportunity, every repeated lesson is the universe's way of saying, I am still watching. What will you do with this? You might think your hardships are unfair, your struggles random, but those with markings of spiritual significance are rarely allowed to drift. They are guided through fire, not to be punished, but to be forged. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it purifies it. The heat you feel in life is not always a sign of punishment, but of preparation. The universe watches because it knows who you really are beneath the noise, the trauma, the fear, and the ego. It watches because it knows your mission, even if you've forgotten it. It sends you signs in your palm, in your body, in your dreams, in repeating patterns to remind you that your existence is not an accident. Your path is being sculpted by an invisible hand, and the more conscious you become of this, the more you'll realize that nothing is ordinary. Every interaction, every loss, every choice is part of a divine choreography. This attention from the universe is a sacred pressure. It pushes you to wake up. It urges you to be honest with yourself. It does not tolerate mediocrity because it has placed a mark on your spirit. This is not about ego. This is about alignment. It's about living a life where your thoughts match your soul's truth, where your intentions are clean, and where your silence is as noble as your speech. Because when you are truly being watched not by people, but by the universe, every moment becomes sacred. So if you have the half moon on your nails, if you see the letter M marked upon your palm, then understand this is not a decoration. This is not an accident. It is a silent contract between your soul and the universe. You were not chosen for comfort. You were chosen for consciousness. You were not given signs to boast. You were given signs to build, and the path ahead of you will not always be easy, but it will be real, it will be sacred, and it will be yours. The universe has already marked you. Now you must mark your place in the world with action, with wisdom, with unshakable inner discipline. And remember, the true danger is not in being watched by the universe. The true danger is ignoring the call when the universe whispers your name.